Does that have me in focus? I can't see because I don't have my glasses. I'm just gonna make sure that's still recording. Oh no, the battery is super low. Am I gonna know if the battery goes off? I should be fine. Good morning! My name is Josh Tyler and welcome to My Privileged Opinion. It is a happy Saturday. I hope you've had a great week. Today, I want to give a little how-to on how white people we should handle being called out by a person of color when we do or say something stupid, because we live in a white supremacist society and it is inevitable. Additionally, boundaries are discovered when you run into them, and that is what happens when a black person or anyone marginalized person of color says, yo, what you just did is insensitive and ignorant. Please don't do it again. It's called boundary setting. I know it looks and feels weird for us, but that's what it is. So, we're gonna talk about how to handle that situation. Disclaimer. This advice is from my own lived experience. Black people and people of color are not interchangeable and every situation is unique. However, I think that these are the general overarching best practices when these situations occur. First things first, you are going to, let me repeat myself again, going to say something ignorant in a mixed crowd of people and be called out by a person of color. You need to be okay with that. Because it is not the action itself that makes you a bad person, it is the actions that follow. So, before we get into this little scenario, we have a vocabulary word, and that vocabulary word is ignorant. A lack of knowledge, information, and awareness on a particular topic. A moment of silence to let that definition sink in. Just one more time. A lack of knowledge, information, or awareness. It is impossible to exist in this world and have all of those three things about every topic in the world. So it is inevitable that at some point in your life, a moment of ignorance will arise with a person of color, because a lack of awareness within a white supremacist society is inevitable. So, let's get into it. So, you've just said something ignorant to a person of color. They have called you out on it. The first thing you are going to do is accept and be appreciative that that person just put in the time and emotional energy to make you aware of what you just did. They are not required to do that. They don't need to do that. So be grateful. Secondly, don't talk. Now, I know the first gut reaction is to defend yourself. And I promise you, push it down. Nobody needs it. Nobody wants it. You don't have to defend yourself. Just sit there, be appreciative, and be quiet. Next, in your silence, I want to assess the environment you are in, because you are going to make one of two decisions. First one, is this a person that I can circle back to? Or two, is this a complete stranger? The reason that this is important is because it's going to lead into the next decision, which is, if this is a person that you can circle back to, remain silent, apologize, leave the situation alone. That's it, be done. Because if you can circle back to them, you're going to reach back out to them and ask that if they would like to put in the emotional time and energy to discuss the situation and how what you did was wrong, then great. Kudos, you go down that route. If it is a stranger, you are going to still remain silent, apologize, and walk away. And you're going to take that scenario and bring it back to a fellow white person, like myself, who would be more than happy to talk about it and discuss it with you. If you have no people of color in your life, if you do have a person of color in your life and they would like to put in the time and energy to do so, then you would go to them. But I want to make it very clear that it is not a person of color's job to have that conversation with you, because there are a ton of books and articles and research and history that you can go through yourself to dissect why what you said was wrong. But I would always behoove you to please come to a white ally, maybe before doing that so you don't get your information twisted, but that is neither here nor there. At the end of the day, the takeaway from this is always that you are going to want to be grateful that they took the time to call you out. Silence yourself, apologize, and if you can circle back to them and have a conversation. And if you can't, find another resource to figure out why you said was stupid. Why what you said was stupid. That's the right way to say that. Anyway, the important thing is this, and it's something that I learned in my own life events. I was called out publicly in a mixed group setting in front of the entire crowd, and I'm so thankful that I was aware enough to take in what they said, remain silent, and walk away. Yeah, I cried later when I walked away, but then I was able to circle back to that person, and I am so thankful to this day that they allowed me to do that, and that they put in the time and the emotional energy to do that, because it was a huge pivotal point for my awareness, for my allyship, for all of that stuff. So, this was a short, fast video. Always just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just shh. White people, shh. We have to just be quiet. There's no point in defending yourself. It's not a big deal. You're gonna do it. That's how you discover boundaries, is by running into the fence. So, run into the electric fence, get zapped, and you found a boundary. And black people will communicate to you where they would like their boundary set, and you have to accept it. Have a great week. Go out into the world, be good and do good, and I will see you all next week. Bye. That was like a really good stream of consciousness. Oh, I hope that was good.